Welcome to All About TRH, aka All About the Truth. So many questions about BravoCon 2023, and we have the answers. We give you the tea and all the details on what we experienced at BravoCon this year. Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
Do you miss me?
No.
What? I thought we had a fantastic time and that you were going to miss me the second that we, went to our houses.
No, I don't miss anybody, especially off of vacation. It's like, get me away from anybody who I was with for that long.
You've literally called me 10 times since getting home.
No, 2.
Okay, that's basically 10 times. And um it was funny. So we just arrived home this morning and we were supposed to take an Uber home and then Chantel was going to drop me home, but we had a red eye and she was like, "I am not dropping you home." And Chantel, explain to them how I was this trip.
You guys, she's a mother freaking passenger princess.
I
I
sure
cannot handle
am.
her. Like, she did not.
Mhm.
We probably ordered like 95 Ubers this weekend. I ordered every single one. I waited for every single one. I made sure we got into the right
Okay,
one.
let's note that we both paid for it, but yeah, I
Okay.
don't do that
Yeah,
technical
please. I
stuff.
would rather pay for it and you handle, okay?
Oh my gosh. Well,
She
yeah.
she like did not make any reservations. She didn't make nothing. She's like a passenger princess, just like walking,
Chantel picks up my
lollygagging through.
suitcase. She
Well,
holds
you're
my suitcase.
pregnant. Yeah.
No, but you would still have done it
I
because
know
you
because she's so weak.
yeah, exactly. So for my Uber this morning, so she was literally like, I wouldn't, I mean, regardless, she would have waited for me, but she had to tell her Uber driver to like wait until mine comes. And she's like waiting and then she's like calling me to make sure I'm okay. And, oh, I forgot to check in yesterday or this morning. I forgot to check into she had told me, she's like, make sure you check in for us going back
Like our
home
flights. Like, you
to
check
check
in on
on
your
our flight.
phone.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay," so I had clicked it and it kept saying like, "Error, try again later." And I did it again and I was like, "I'm sure it went through." We're literally entering the airplane and they're about to like, what is that area, that
Scan the
claustrophobic?
ticket
Yeah, they're
to
scanning the
scan you
ticket.
in.
Yeah, to literally get on the plane. And I was like, "Chantel," I was like, "It's saying it's too late for me to check in." And she's like, "What are you talking about? I literally told you to make sure that you check in." And I was freaking out because the plane was full. So Chantel, we were gonna have to stay in Vegas longer. Chantel would have probably left me, but she wouldn't have, but she would have not talked to me that whole time.
I would have been pissed.
So yeah, it was and that's how it is in my life too. Like my husband does everything. I'm just there. So and I like it that way. So and Chantel's very much the husband. So
No, I'm an Aries, so I do
even
like
in
to
her
take charge, but
even in her relationship though, I feel like you're the one
no,
doing
Val, we're both Val and I were very like we both do it together. Like we will take turns, we'll help each other out, okay?
no, not me. I'm like so and my husband like we just like everything, the airplane, every scenario in an airplane, us going on the trip, it's all him and I'm just there.
I
So
don't think Roxanne would know how to get anywhere. I really don't.
never. I
But you
really
know what? I
wouldn't.
also think she like fakes it so that like people do it for her. Like I know her.
Exactly. I swear it works, you guys. So sometimes it's okay to be that way. So yeah, that was nice. It was a crazy trip. My feet hurt. I have blisters. Uh, Chantel,
Do you have this thing that everyone keeps talking about, like the BravoCon anxiety, like the hangover of it all? Like we're finally home and it's just like, whoa, what was that?
no, I don't have that.
Wow, okay, you like being home, huh?
Yeah, no, it was a lot, you guys, and we're gonna tell you the truth about everything. It was a lot. 3 days is a lot, but I keep going back and forth about it because I'm like, is it worth it to go? And I I like at first me Chantel after it all, we had such a great time. It was such an amazing experience. And before we even get into that, I do want to start off by acknowledging the staff at BravoCon. You know, when you go to concerts and the people like directing you or they're checking you in or they're scanning you in, I don't know if it's just me, but every time I encounter those people, they're so rude. Every single person who was working at BravoCon, and it was like the same people every day, which was wild. Their energy was unmatched. They were so kind, and it was to everybody. It wasn't to us, it was to everybody. And I think that's a big deal because I always hate dealing with those miserable people. They ruin the experience and the energy, the staff, they went above and beyond. They were so great to everyone. And I love that they were like smiling the whole time and just, excited for you. I wasn't that amazing,
Yeah, no,
Chantal?
they were so hospitable, and they don't work
Wow.
for Bravo or anything, they work for Caesar's Forum where we were at, so I think that really helps, like
No, some of them told me they worked for Bravo,
oh,
no?
really?
Yeah, so I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe it was a mix then, maybe,
Yeah,
like
maybe it was a mix, but I don't know. All I know is that obviously Bravo got to it. Bravo had told them, this is how it is. This is whether it was people directly at Bravo, people directly at Caesar, it doesn't matter. Because if it was people from Caesar, I doubt they would act like that. I'm sorry.
no, because the reason why I think that is the case is because last year's BravoCon, it was NBC, employees, and people said it was just such a shit show, like, they weren't organized and they weren't hospitable enough.
I think it was and yeah, and so a lot that didn't work last, year, they made it work this year.
Yeah,
So I
mhm.
think that's why they were like that. They were just so amazing, and every day, there's not one person who was in a bad mood, even if, like, it was security, even security was nice, you know? So everyone was so great, and I love that they did that, and from what we know, everything was so much better than the times in New York. I feel like so we spent a lot, and I think we should kinda talk about how much we spent, and of course, we're gonna talk about our experience, we're gonna talk about all the 3 days. I don't know if we're gonna have to cut this in a couple episodes, we'll see. I'm about to text my husband and tell him to bring me water because I'm already dying. But there is just so much, and we're gonna try to answer everything and just the awkward moments, the panels, the differences of general admission and VIP. So you could have bought two tickets. You could have bought general admission or VIP, and general admission, Chantal, I think was like $600 or 700 maybe. I think it was 600.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it was 600 and VIP was 1,500. Um, and that's a lot of money, okay? So, you have to be like a diehard Bravo fan. I feel like if you're not and you're like, "Let's do something for fun," you can watch it all on Peacock, you guys. So, I don't know, like, I feel like if you're just like I mean, if you're with your girlfriends and to me, like, if I would wanted to do a trip once a year, like, I wanna go to Mexico, I wanna go somewhere hot, I wanna do a destination, or not a destination, but go out of the country. I don't think I'd wanna do this with my girls' trip as my one girls' trip, but if you're a diehard Bravo fan, I do think, it's totally worth it. I think if you're gonna go to BravoCon, you should absolutely get VIP.
Yeah, I think if you want to go to this, you save your money for VIP, you try to get VIP, do everything you can to get VIP because that to me is the only way I would ever go back. I would never we had VIP, so thank God, and we had no idea what to expect, you guys. We didn't know if it was gonna be
Nothing.
worth it. But what we saw and the way that VIP was you got closer to the stage. There were so many things we'll talk about. I would never do GA, and I feel bad that if people like if you can't afford VIP, I would just try to find a way to afford it, right? Don't you think like you just like try everything in
It's
your
not and this is
power
not
to
putting
get?
anyone down
Yeah,
for getting GA at all, but, like, I am we were saying, we're at a point in our life, like, I if we're gonna do this, we have to do it right.
I'm that person that like gets the fast pass at Cedar Point because we have no patience. So like that's like basically what VIP
Which is an
was. It's like the
amusement park.
yeah. Oh, yeah, from the Midwest or, like, anything, fast pass for Disneyland, like, anything that gets you quicker and, like, up to the front is, like, what
We
we
don't
would
have
try to do.
patience, and that
Yeah.
stuff would make us mad, so it's like, why would we put ourselves through that? But, because there was so many add-ons throughout BravoCon, we were like, "Is VIP even worth it?" Like, it's like everyone's getting add-ons, so they did, like, these Bravo Palooza add-ons, and I think there were a couple a day, and they were, like, 450 a ticket. So you're already paying 1,500, and then you have to pay 450 a ticket, and it's like, okay, that it all adds up, like, it all becomes too much, and there was, like, again, a couple a day, and then there was Watch What Happens Live at nighttime,
Which
and
we
that
paid for extra for one night.
yeah, and I think we paid was it what, 700 for both of us for
Yep.
that
It
one?
was like 350.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 350.
Yeah, so it was 350, and I do think it's worth it, but then it's also gonna be on TV. So it really is about why you're doing this and why you're coming here. For us, first off, what happened on that panel was crazy. So I think we got so lucky to be there and we were actually the first row. I don't know how the hell we got those seats. But GA,
I think I'm gonna be on it, right? You said you guys it's gonna air tonight, which is Monday, and I think we might see myself clapping. So that'll
yeah.
be yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I saw Chantal. I was like, Chantal, I think you were on camera, so I hope that that's
I loved I loved the Watch What Happens Live. I thought that was so much fun. If you guys can pick one thing, I would pick those. It's like going to a show or like a concert, and it was like really fun to see the behind the scenes of them taping stuff and like really seeing the commercial breaks and like, all those
But
fun
I'm
things.
Chantal. I'm talking to so many people who went to Bravo Palooza, and they said it was so worth it.
Wow, I know that
So
is one thing we did not get to do, you guys, and
yeah,
it did seem like Bravopalooza would be worth it. The only thing I think people said to us was that you don't know which panel you're gonna get, but so I would like go to every single one then.
every single
Yeah.
person is like messaging us saying how worth it, how exclusive it was, how they all like took pictures with you and all that stuff, and it was like a cool hangout. It was more of a relaxed thing. So Um, I don't I would have probably done that, but I don't know. I don't
We can
know.
talk about like the like when you walked into this like into the forum, whatever Caesar's forum, there's like different conference rooms basically, and there was one main one where like you see all the panels that I'm sure you guys have seen so many things on social media. That was like one main stage, and then we never got to see anything where Palooza was, and but it seemed like a smaller cocktail lounge, which would be fun, and you like go get drinks and you eat and that like and you get to see the stars, and I think it's only like 200 people in the rooms compared to like 10,000 people or 5,000 people in the room. And then there's another small stage where we went to the glam stage twice. I think we did 2 panels there. That one was fun because it's a lot smaller too. And then
Yeah,
the most worth it thing ever was this room called the VIP lounge. And that's where you guys all of our pictures came from. If we did not have VIP, we probably would not get any of our
we would
pictures
never
with
get any pictures.
yeah,
Yeah.
they would come so, like, they all have schedules, like, all the housewives have schedules, so you would get 2 or 3 that would come in, and we'll talk about the dates too, and they would just come in and you can talk to them, take a picture with them, and that was so worth it, and that was so nice because the lounge wasn't, like, crazy, crazy, crazy packed.
And of course, only VIP people could go there, so it's
Correct.
not, as overwhelming. So Friday was our best day. So we get there and Chantel's like, right away, let's go to the VIP lounge. A lot of people were very strategic where they're like, we don't really want to go to the panels. We'll just hang out at the VIP lounge because all the panels, like everything's going to be there at BravoCon. And typically, when you went to the panels, you weren't taking pictures with them after. So you didn't really have to go. Whereas in again, what she just said is VIP is where you'll get your pictures. There's three.
But we didn't know that on Friday, so, like, we went to the first panel with Andy, that was we loved that one, I think that
That
was, like,
was
one of
the
our
best
favorite
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was
we
with Jeff Lewis, right?
Yeah, it was Jeff Lewis and Andy, and it was so good because Jeff Lewis, honestly, he's savage as hell, but he is the biggest clown. Like he yelled at the audience members because at the end of each segment, they would be like, "You guys can ask questions," and they're like, "We don't want to know about how you love Bravo and how you admire this, or you just ask the damn question." And then people would go up and they would talk for 10 minutes about how much they love Andy and da da da, and like a lot of the audience do not have patience, including us. So we're like, get to the damn question so everyone can ask a shady question or a fun question. Like we
I
don't want
think
to
even
hear
at one point
this.
he was like, "Is that a statement or a question?" Like, come
Yeah.
on, like
Oh,
it was just
yeah,
yeah.
and then he talked about the housewives. He's like he said, Crystal from Beverly Hills is the boringest housewife, and I could agree. And he was saying how the episode one, you guys can watch all of the panels and
Yes.
everything on Peacock. So that's another thing is like you can watch it all on Peacock. And
I
that's
don't
what they
think
did
every
this year.
single one, but they did pick a lot of the panels that they recorded for you.
They keep uploading new ones every day though.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and I definitely encourage you guys to watch those. So we did go to that, and on the first day, let's talk about who we met. We're going to talk about experiences on who we met, um, like what rooms were full, other experiences from people who were there and what they said to us. By the way, it was so nice having you guys come up to us. It was like so weird and surreal. We had a lot of you guys do that. And it was funny because a lot of you guys would be like, "Hey, Roxanne. Hey, Chantel,"
Yeah.
or they'd come up and they'd be like, "Cousins." So it was so funny and so cool. That was like probably the most surreal moment there that when people recognized us, especially after the first day when we uploaded photos and people knew we were really here. We got on Saturday was crazy. So that was so freaking cool. But okay, so on our first day, we met Whitney Rose. That was our first day. And Chantel, what did you think about Whitney?
She was really nice, so I liked Whitney.
Yes, I had a great experience with her, I felt, and I felt so my husband, anytime we watch Salt Lake City, he's always like, "Oh my gosh, like Winnie's so pretty." And I was like, I'm always like, "Okay, calm down." But I had her do a video for my husband and she was like, "Hey Jacob, wish you were here." And then she's like, "But your wife is hot," or something like that. And I thought that was freaking hilarious that she did that. So, she was really great.
Yeah, and on Friday, like, I feel like not a lot of people knew about VIP, which we didn't know either. That was the first time we walked in. We saw, I think it was like Whitney and Lisa, which we'll go into. So we could like we had more time to talk to them than the other days. So that was
Oh,
nice.
Friday was nice because yeah, it just wasn't as packed, and, that was probably my favorite day,
And
even
someone told us too that even last year Friday was the best day. So like if you guys and there are 1 day passes, so if you guys can pick 1 day, I would suggest picking the first day always.
yeah. We met Angie from Salt Lake City. You guys are, like, so rough on Angie. I feel like a lot of you are. She was honestly probably one of the nicest. She talked to us the longest. She was so great. I feel like people don't give Angie a chance.
I know. I think when we like said we met her, everyone's like, "Ew, Angie," like, "No, no," or something. I'm like, "Dang," but she was super nice.
There were some people who said, "You know what, I do like Angie," but a lot of people were like, "I don't trust what she says," and she was so great to everyone. We could see the interactions. She was great. We met Nicole from Miami, and I liked that Nicole wasn't at a stage. Like, she was just kind of walking around, and then she would take pictures, and me and Nicole are due at the same time, so I was like, "Oh my gosh," and we took a picture together, and we were talking about that, and we asked her, "Do you know the sex?" And Chantel does this thing where she, like, looks into our eyes and she can tell, like I mean, I don't know, she
Well,
says
like
she
the
can.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I basically make the person who's pregnant like lift up their eyes, and if you see like a very prominent vein in the right one, it's a boy, and if it's on the left, it's a girl. So like that's what I try to do. So I was telling Nicole to do it, and like I didn't even see her eyes, you guys. I just like guessed girl. Um, but like because she wasn't gonna mess up her makeup, so she wasn't really touching her eyes. And then was it her assistant that kind of gave us a look,
Yeah,
or
like,
was it
they
her
were
makeup
like
artist or something?
yeah, where it was like, "Oh my gosh, I think it's a
Sh
girl."
Yeah, like, I think,
But
like, I startled her that,
yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a girl, you guys.
Yeah, and even Chantel told Nicole, she's like, "Oh, it's a girl," and Nicole was like, "Oh," and she looked kinda shocked, and she's like, "I'm not gonna say what we're having now," but she knows. I feel like she should have just announced it, like, she just announced she was pregnant. Why don't you just announce, like,
I know if
what
you
you're
know
having?
and then you just announced it, it's just say it.
Right, yeah.
She's probably
So
gonna do, like, some big thing.
yeah. Well, that was funny. So on Friday was the OC panel and we were late, but again, so seats were like good. Friday, like you could sit wherever and everything was fine and everyone was getting along, like the audience was getting along. That was great. And so we had the OC panel and it was all like a bunch of BS from Tamara who, it seems Tamara is getting along with everyone. I do feel like Heather Dubrow is in a good place with Tamara. I feel like Heather Dubrow plays the game and she knows Tamara's not to be trusted at all, but she was very like politically correct. Tamara did get a lot of boos and there was like a lot of cheers for Heather and Jen.
Yeah, and we were, like, the ones booing sometimes, you guys, so I was, like, pinching Roxanne half the
Like
time because
playfully booing, like it wasn't, because
that's
it
the
wasn't
fun
like
of
aggressive, but it wasn't
but no,
aggressive.
that's the fun in it. When you talk bullshit, you're gonna get booed. If you say something
But
cool, like,
Chantel,
everyone
that's
claps for
not
you.
okay, yeah, but, like, for example, the New Jersey panel with everyone like, not everyone, but a big chunk booing, like, it does become too much, I feel like. So I don't know, because then I was like, maybe I shouldn't have been like, "Oh, boo." I don't even think I was saying boo, I was saying because we did a live on it, and I was just calling her out, and I'm like, "That's a lie," like, I was doing stuff like that, and Chantel was pinching me, no one on OC was talking, so Chantel
Yeah.
was like getting super uncomfortable. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes it goes too far. It depends on who the person is. I feel like okay, maybe fine with the housewife, but yeah, so it was funny because Eddie was sitting on the right by himself. None of the husbands sat next to Eddie, and Ryan and Terry Dubrow were sitting right in front of us. So together. So Eddie was by his lonesome self. That's how you know. That's how you know like Heather's playing a game because Terry and Eddie were good. The fact that Terry isn't sitting with Eddie tells you absolutely
Even
everything.
Ashley's husband wasn't by him, and she was, like, by he was, like, kinda by
Whose
Terry and
husband?
Ashley. Is it Ashley? Who's a lawyer?
Who's Ashley?
Lisa,
Her
no,
name is
what's her name?
Emily. Her name is
Emily,
Emily.
Emily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shane was sitting, like, with his family
Yes.
or something,
Mhm.
but Eddie was literally by himself. Terry and Ryan were right next to each other. I did shout, or well, Terry was right in front of me, and I did tell Terry, I was like, "Do not trust Tamara," and he gave a face that implied he does not fuck with Tamara, you guys. He does not, but he's not gonna get into it, and if his wife wants to mess with her, then whatever. But that really told you everything. It was very uncomfortable for Eddie. You could tell, like, because he was just by himself. So we saw Ryan, which we had a viral interview with Ryan, and he is just honestly one of the nicest people ever. He's such an amazing person. He was so excited for Jen the entire time. He was like taking pictures and videos of Jen, and we could see him, and we could see. And we met Jen's sister-in-law, who was so sweet. Which like how sweet Jen brought her sister-in-law. Then we meet, and they're super close. We meet Jen's mom, so nice and kind, and just Jen, like, when they asked her questions, she wouldn't even throw Tamara under the bus, even though Tamara was wrong in a lot of it. She always tried to be positive about the situation and not talk negatively. And that just shows you Jen from OC, she is such a good person. So, and we loved Ryan and even Terry. Terry was holding Heather Dubrow's stuff for her
Yeah,
while she
so
was on the
cute.
panel. Yeah. And then so I took a picture with both of them, and they were just so kind, so cool, so supportive. So that was a really fun moment, because they like, were waiting at the end and took a picture. We met, that day also, Chantel, I think Toya from Married to Medicine, and she
Yeah,
was
so
so
poor
sweet.
Toya, you guys, because Toya's booth was right next to the Namaste booth, which is Teresa and her co-host Melissa's. And the line for that was ridiculous. And like I just see Toya next to her, and I wasn't gonna go stand in the line. So I see Toya, and I love Toya, and I love Married to Medicine, and she's from Detroit, and so am I, and so are we. And so like I go up to her, I'm like, hey girl, and like we're taking a photo, and like I pop up my leg, and she's like, oh hell no, you did not just pop out your leg. She was being
She
so
was so
funny.
funny. She was
Mhm.
great. Yeah, and she brought her aunt, and her aunt was so nice. So she was really, really great.
We saw Kiki. You forgot
Oh
Kiki,
my
and
gosh, Kiki.
yeah, Kiki, you guys was looked beautiful, and she like lost like you guys. Everyone, okay, let me just tell you this.
I
Everyone
know.
was so skinny and
So
so
skinny.
frail. I'm not saying
Mhm.
Kiki because Kiki really does look like a supermodel. She's tall, but even Kiki was like, I just lost 20 pounds, and she's
I
like
don't think
saying.
she's on anything
I
though.
know, no, I don't think so either. But I'm just in general, like these women are so skinny, and it was a lot. It was a lot standing next to them. Okay, I will say that.
Right. I swear. She is drop dead gorgeous, the nicest thing ever. Like just absolutely so freaking sweet.
She was, like,
Um,
wanting a drink,
yeah,
like, she saw that, like, Lisa's, like, boyfriend, Jody,
Jody, yeah.
had, like, these tickets, and she's like, "Can you get me one?" And, like, she like, they just wanted to have a fun time, which I thought that was fun. Like, that was Friday, but we
Yeah,
never
and
got that energy later.
yeah, she was also like she was just, hanging around the VIP area. She wasn't like at a stage, which I appreciated. And so she was just hanging out there. Who else did we meet that day?
Danielle, so from Summer House,
Yeah.
and, you guys, I told Danielle how Roxanne did not have her back, so, like, when we were trying to take a picture with her, she, like, was hugging me and, like, booing out Roxanne, but then she was, like, joking, about it,
Yeah.
but she was super sweet, and she looked really good.
She totally did. We also met Captain Lee was probably the nicest person because when you went to go take a picture and his wife, he had his wife sit right next to him, which was so sweet. Like he didn't want her to be left out. He wanted her to be right there with him and you could take a picture with just him, but he was just so sweet because he asked you what your name was, asked each person like a little bit about them and just a very like kind person. Like really like you don't get that cuz a lot of people we took pictures with super quick like Crystal from Beverly Hills, you know, super quick. I didn't even care to take a picture with Crystal to be honest, but we did because
Well,
we
because
wanted to
no,
meet Lisa
sometimes
Barlow.
yeah, because sometimes they had like two people on like one backdrop. So like it was you kind of go down the line and at that point you're not gonna just like skip her. Like you might as well. But we didn't even take a selfie or anything because we didn't care. And she couldn't even speak. So
Oh
like her
yeah,
voice
her
was
voice was
gone.
gone. So it was like, all right, bye.
We saw
Uh
we saw Corey. We also met Corey from Summer House and Winter House, right? Is that where he's from?
yeah.
Yeah, he was fun. He was really good. He would like remember he had his, chains in his like teeth, like the whatever those are called. He was cool.
He was super fun. He was super, super nice. Um that who else? Was there anyone else I met that
We
day?
saw Psy that day, but not in there was also this thing called like bazaar, like the shopping. It's like where everyone set up their booths. So like a lot of like the housewives that like sell things, you could set up a booth or whatever, or it wasn't even housewife stuff. But Psy was there doing something and I don't know what booth, but she just looked so over it and like maybe she just has RBF, but she just looked so like not okay. But then on Sunday when we saw her in a panel, she was way more better. She was way better. So maybe it was like a lot for her the first day. I don't know.
Yeah,
She
definitely.
seems very scary, you guys, very
From
scary.
12:30 to 1:30, I know one day for sure all of them were there selling their merch. So that was nice. So that's where we saw her. Um, I don't know. Friday was just a nice day. It was just you could meet Melissa and Joe came in to the VIP area on Friday. Uh, however, it they brought Melissa in to record a segment, so she wasn't like actually taking pictures. And so Joe Gorga walks in and he gave off a weird energy. Like he seemed annoyed, but when you went up to him, like he would smile, but she's like doing this segment and he's just sitting on a chair next to her, just like looking at his phone, not really engaged, which is very shocking for Joe because the one thing about Joe is he's good with fans.
Yeah, like I felt Joe was so different and weird in person. Like even on the panel, the way he was like not acting as like hype, or even like we saw
He
the Magic
seemed
Men of Jersey.
annoyed.
Yeah, even when we saw the Magic Men of Jersey, he wasn't being so extra like how he is on the show. But then we did end up seeing him again on Sunday. Like he went in there with like Frank and Tanya, and then that was so different. He was like what I was seeing is that he was being like so nice to the fans and like the pictures he was doing, he was being a clown. But I don't know, I was shocked because I thought that he just like was always full on and like always trying to have a good time, but I did not get those vibes from him.
Right, yeah. It was a very weird vibe. He didn't seem like himself. It was just I don't know. So they left, they didn't see us or anything that day. We didn't like we're not gonna sit there and go up to them. So they left after that. It was just like a quick segment she filmed. I
Oh,
heard
you
she
know
would
who you know who else we saw you guys for a quick second is Craig and Austin. There was like this media room that was like right next to the VIP, so they walked out. They are so tall, and I was so taken back about Craig, and I think you said the same thing. Like he's hot in person.
they are so good looking in person. I didn't even realize. Like I get the appeal now and wow, like especially with how tall they are, you never realize how attractive that is until you see someone as tall as them, which is like so not normal. And but we never ever asked them for a picture or never went up to them or anything just cuz like I didn't care and Chantal doesn't even really
You
watch
guys,
Southern
I'm
Charm.
I'm glad to say that I am caught up on this seasons of Southern Charm, okay? I watched it on the plane and I watched it all day today so far.
Yeah.
So I am caught up because it was funny watching their panel. And yeah, even I think at one point Austin like walked right past me and I was like getting water and like everyone's like running to him and I'm like, hey, like I wouldn't
Austin was directly next to Chantel. People hadn't noticed him yet. She literally did not care, and everyone was running up to him. And I'm like, Chantel, go take a picture with him or something. She's
no,
like,
and I'm
no.
so glad. Like I've known I've hated Austin because I've watched him on Summer House some like one season or whatever, and thank God because now watching this season, like I can't stand him. I don't know how
Yeah,
anyone likes him.
yeah. So anything else like happen on Friday? We met Lisa Hochstein and Jody, and you guys know I love Lisa, so thank God we met her. That was so nice. We actually saw her every single day, and then we found out that our resort was the same. We took an Uber together on our resort.
She
So
probably was so over seeing us, like,
yeah,
every
we
day
saw every
somehow.
second.
Yeah, like, somehow a panel that we were going to was she was there, and it was just funny.
She's beautiful. It was so nice. I need to talk about a segment. So, a lot of the questions, like, I get it to be shady. So, this was on Saturday, though. So, there was a question in a panel that we went to that Lisa was involved. There's a couple other wives. I don't even remember who was there. But at the end, again, the audience could ask questions. And
Oh, sorry, I wanna interrupt you real quick because I saw a few questions about this. People want to know, do are the questions screened before people go up there?
no, they're
Roxanne, tell them.
not.
Yep,
They're
they are
not, and
not.
let me tell you why, because I wanted to go up so I don't have the balls to do it on any Real Housewives show for some reason, but Married to Medicine, I love Married to Medicine, and I was, like, super comfortable to do it, and, I don't know if anyone watches Married to Medicine. There is, this doctor named Heavenly, and she is married to a guy named Damon, and basically, like, they have a really funny marriage, but she will smack a person if you even look at her husband. And one time I think someone called Damon daddy because that's what she calls him, and she went crazy on them on the show. So I was like, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to ask a question and I'm going to ask if I'm allowed to take a picture with daddy to see what Heavenly would say. And she would ruin my life. She would have probably
Iconic.
checked me and all this stuff. But I didn't get to it because you guys, what was happening is no, those questions are not screened. And people did not get it. They would literally be like, "Hi, I'm here and I'm from this state and I really love you guys. And my sister and brother think that this is and did it." And we're all like, "Get to the question because this," and then they'd be like, "How's your dog?" And I'm like, "Oh
Yeah, a
my
lot of
God."
people ask, like, the dumbest questions, and it was like, I sometimes wish things were
It's an
getting were g
exciting time though, like, it's exciting, so it's like but it's like, dude, if there's, like, 2 more people like, there was, like for when I was in the line, there were, like, for like, I was 2 people were ahead of me, and there's people talking for 10 minutes, and they're like, "I'm in the health profession, and I just wanna thank you for being in the health profession," and it was a 20-minute speech about health professionals, and we get it, trust me, we think the same, but I this is not the time for you to shout them out. They
I know,
know, tweet them.
I was wishing, like, Jeff Lewis was there to shut everyone up because
I
it was getting too
know.
much.
It really, really was. So they're not screened and people are savage. And some people get nervous. So you feel bad when they get nervous and stuff. Like I hated that. Um,
But go
but
ahead with the Lisa question because this was the most savage.
this is a question, but this was like so out of line. We'd like to thank the sponsor of this episode, LifeMD. Looking to lose weight and improve your health? You're not alone. More than 40% of Americans are considered clinically obese, but without the right resources and support, the path to better health can be challenging to say the least. The good news is LifeMD can help. As one of the world's leading online health care providers, LifeMD takes the hassle, expense, and guesswork out of reaching your weight loss goals. Its comprehensive weight management program combines access to breakthrough GLP-1 medications with coaching and metabolic testing to help patients on their journey to lose weight and maintain their results long term. Visit lifemd.com/TRH to start your weight loss journey. And rest assured, with LifeMD, losing weight doesn't need to break the bank. They'll help you maximize your insurance coverage to make medication as affordable as possible. If you're not satisfied for any reason, you can cancel anytime. With the right resources and support, losing weight doesn't need to feel like an uphill battle. Embrace your journey towards a healthier, happier you and achieve lasting, sustainable weight loss with LifeMD by your side. Visit lifemd.com/TRH to get started so you can enjoy a brighter tomorrow. That's lifemd.com/TRH. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer. Fine. And
Yeah.
so a person comes and asks Lisa Hochstein a question, and they were like to her, so, um, what is like why do you constantly filter your photos to the point, and it's not like you just filter your photos. You take it above and beyond that you look like in what is it, A1
AI.
AI character, and those are every single one of your photos. Why do you do that? And it was like so much ruder than how I'm saying it. And, like, her boyfriend was there watching her, and I just thought that is so mean to okay, yes, she filters her photos, she does whatever, but like so does everyone in her industry. And so maybe she takes it like a little bit too much. And she said that, like, she responded and you could tell she was so taken aback by that question. And she just said, because like, who has the balls to really ask that? Maybe some people think it, but who asked that? And she was like, she just said, well, like, I don't know anyone who doesn't play with their photo, whether it's to smooth out your skin or to filter. And maybe some people go and do it extra, but like I own it. Like and
And she's like, "I
but
like to do it." And so it's
yeah,
like,
like
yeah,
she's
like
like, I like to do it. So
mhm.
what? I don't know. It was so like it was mean. It was mean.
I yeah,
Cause she was so uncomfortable. It was mean. It was like, and her boyfriend's there, and like, like how embarrassing for that to be asked in front of your boyfriend, you know?
I know, and, like, she was on a panel with, like, some of the other housewives, not just her franchise, and, like, you can kinda see their faces too, like, "What the F just did someone just ask her?"
Yeah, I went backstage with her and she brought it up and she's like, "I can't believe someone asked that." And she's like, "That was mean." And everyone thought it was mean in the audience. Like everyone was like, "Who is that person?" But I felt really bad for her just because if that was me and like I'm in this new relationship with I'd be like, okay, I'm kind of embarrassed that they said that. And even though whatever, my boyfriend probably knows I really played with the picture. I don't know. I just thought it was like so unnecessary because she's not going to stop. Like if that's what makes her happy, and she's gorgeous in person, so it's like whatever. She still looks like however we see her on the video of the Real Houses of Miami. That's how she looks in
Yep,
person.
yep,
She has great skin. She looks exactly how she looks on the Real Houses of Miami. Some picture, listen, when you take a picture, sometimes first off, the lighting at BravoCon, guys, was disgusting, like absolutely
disgusting.
disgusting. We took pictures, a lot more pictures, like with other housewives, like Crystal and Sutton, and things like that. And we never even uploaded it because and Sutton was so unhappy with the lighting too. The lighting was so nasty. You had to sign up and register for a photo op, which I didn't like. This is the one thing I didn't like that Bravo did. Their backdrop is like Bravo. It's like what are those
Step and
signs called?
repeats.
The step and repeats.
Mhm.
I don't want that as my backdrop with Real Housewives. It's so not personal. It's so like we didn't even upload any of those, Chantel. We took some with
Marisol and
Marisol,
Alexia.
Alexia, Teresa, and Louis. We didn't even end up doing it the next day because we had Jen Fessler, and I'm kind of salty with Jen Fessler, and I'll tell you why. But we didn't even do it the next day. We had it because, and then Melissa and all of them were going to be on that one, and that's when Joe did that weird thing. So I was like, oh gosh, like that is like way too intimate. But it was very fast. It was just like ugly lighting, the step and repeat. It's not cute at all. That's why I appreciated the wives who just walked around and would take a picture. I like that. I did see Margaret Josephs do that, by
Yeah.
the way. I did
Dorit,
see
you
her.
guys, like, Dorit had
Dorit did that.
she no, this is what Dorit did, okay, let me tell you. She had a straight up assistant makeup artist have one of those big ass flashlights that you put on your phone, and every picture she took, that person, like, stood it up right in there, so, like, everyone got good lighting. It was so
What was it
funny.
called? The ring light or
Yeah,
something?
like a ring light,
Yeah,
basically.
a ring
Mhm.
light attached to your phone. Sutton had that too. Like Sutton literally had the BravoCon person hold that for every picture. When we took a selfie with Sutton, Sutton was like, "This lighting is terrible. I can't do a selfie
She, like,
anymore."
wouldn't end up doing it,
She
like,
was
she was
like,
talking
she would talk and move her face because she was like, "I'm so over this," like
and
because
I
of how
think
bad the lighting was.
Peacock got that on, this live film stream, like, and some of you guys DM'd us about it because
Yeah, we
someone's
were
like, "What
on
was"
it.
yeah, they're like, "What was Sutton saying to you guys?" Because Sutton was talking to us, but all she was really saying is like, "No, I hate this lighting is horrible, like, do not like, I don't want that selfie."
And it was. So my whole point about that was like, so yeah, like Lisa, there can be where you look so beautiful and then you take a picture in terrible lighting. So you want to brighten it up or smooth it out. So I don't know. I just felt really bad for her for that. But it was really terrible lighting. And I swear the pictures that were the best were the ones that weren't anywhere near those backdrops and just like in the middle of the room. Like I took a picture with Heather McDonald that was so nice. It was just like in the middle of the room.
Yeah, like, cause I think with the backdrops too is, like, they try to put some lighting, above it and below it, but it was not, like, the good lighting, so it was just, like, so bright, and it wasn't doing it, it just was
Yeah, and
not.
the step and repeat didn't help it. So that was Friday. So Friday we left and we're like, wow, that was good. We could go to a panel, we get a good seat. Because here's what they did. So with VIP, you sit in the front. There's like a bunch of seats only for VIP.
Like 30 rows, let's say, but, like, they're, like, it's, like, long, like, you can
Yeah,
like,
there's
the
so
room is
much room.
wide. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And then in the back, there's GA, so which is general admission, and so it's like divided, which I like because no offense, if you're paying for VIP, then I should have good seats. Like I shouldn't have to like fight with someone who's going to be in general admission and literally wait to save a seat or whatever. The audience by the time Saturday came, man, we got yelled at by someone.
Oh my gosh, someone like people were getting savage. I think a lot of people were just getting savage at this point. And I get it because like if you really like a panel, you wanna be like front, like the front 3 rows. You kind of had to go early. You kind of had to sit there. People would save seats, but then you can't save seats like for the whole day. Like that's not fair. You can't like leave your purse and then come back eight
Yeah,
hours and
that's
expect us
messed
to
up.
be
That's
there.
not cool. Like no one should do that. And I think so.
We did that on Friday, but we didn't expect our stuff to be there. We just did it because we didn't know what to expect, and then we came back and someone was sitting in the seat that we had it, and I just grabbed my purse and like as long as no one took my purse, and it was just on the seat next to it, and like we just went to a different seat.
Yeah, like, and it totally made sense. I don't even know why we expected that, but it wasn't because Friday wasn't so busy. Like, it was not busy. You could be 40 minutes late to a panel and you get a good seat.
Yeah, like
So it really
we
wasn't
were
busy.
late
So
to
we were just like,
OCs and we got such
yeah,
good
good
seats for it.
seats. So we were just like, oh, okay, cool. But then it started getting crazy, and then people were taking it too far, where they would say 5 seats at a time and all this stuff, and it ended up getting chaotic and very snarky with the listener or
Oh yeah,
the
someone was
viewers.
like, as you guys know, if you guys were following our Instagrams, like we were doing some live, so like we were trying to be funny sometimes, but this wasn't even a time we did a live. We were watching Married to Medicine panel, and like me and Roxanne were just making comments, like we love the girls, so we just like were laughing. I don't even know, we were just having a good time, and someone like turns around and goes, "I'm here to listen to them and not you guys, so I advise you guys to go in the back." And we had people sitting next to us, like loving what we were
Everyone
saying
around
too.
us was like, they were so rude because if they had
Yeah,
turned around and they were like, "Can you guys just please, like, not,"
stop talking.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's not like we were talking though, Chantal. We were
I
saying,
know.
"Yeah," or, "Oh my gosh, yeah, that's right." Like, we were doing that. We weren't talking, and we would laugh when they said something funny. And so they turned around and they said, "We can only hear you." And the people all around us was like, "That was so disgusting. That was so rude." And everyone thought they were so rude, and they were like, "I suggest you go in the back." And Chantal, I don't even know what she said.
I was like, "You don't have to be so rude about it," and Roxanne
And
was
I
like,
was like,
I suggest
yeah.
that."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, "And I suggest you don't be rude about it, and you go in the back if you have a problem with us." And we said that, and it was so funny because the Jersey panel one segment was next, and we had like Brittany run up to us, and we talked to Brittany from New Jersey. But yeah, there were some people who were just like really, really savage and very crazy with seats by the time Saturday and Sunday came. It was so scary. But, so what they started doing on Saturday, and this was like a big discussion, and I think they stopped it on Sunday. So on Saturday, because some of the panels weren't getting filled because people were still excited about like the merch area and then the setups, like where you can take pictures and all the cool Bravo setups. So the VIP would not be full. So what they were doing was they were bringing general admission people to fill the seats by the time the panel started. But then what ended up happening was those general admission people would sit and stay there and save their seat, so then by the time the next panel came, like we had come, there were no seats on VIP, and you look and all the bracelets say general admission. So we're like, so we're going to go sit in general admission right now. So that was like so stupid. They were doing that. They were doing that with every single panel on Saturday until so many people started complaining. So a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, on the New Jersey panel, people had brought them to the front because it wasn't filled. They did that for every single panel that happened on Saturday, you guys. It wasn't
Sunday,
just New
Sunday. This
Jersey.
happened Sunday.
No, this happened in New Jersey part 1 panel. This never happened on Sunday. By the time Sunday came, it stopped. They didn't even do it anymore because they a lot of the general
No,
admission
this
people.
happened on Sunday. This is when
Chantal, the general admission people came to the front for Jersey panel 1, which was a Saturday panel.
but yesterday's when me and you were complaining about it because they were doing it all day yesterday too.
Are you sure they were doing it
Yes,
yesterday?
yes, that's when they did it yesterday is when we that's how we got to that one other side, and then we had to keep going up and up and up, and then like we had to complain yesterday too because we wanted to be front row for the New Jersey panel part 2, and we were so scared we weren't because of that.
Well, because by the time, I don't know, because I know with Southern Charm, like they were like
And that's yesterday.
no, but they were saying general admission can't come here anymore. They're not allowing it when I talked to the girl next to me. So I don't know. All I know is that on Saturday, that was a thing where every single panel we went to, general admission kept coming to the front, like every single one. So we had Beverly Hills. Was it Beverly Hills? So you're saying Beverly Hills was on Sunday?
No, Beverly Hills was on, yes, Beverly Hills was Sunday.
It was?
Yeah, this happened yesterday. It didn't happen on Saturday. Like,
I know,
Saturday
but
was so
I'm
easy
still
for us.
talking about no, it wasn't, Chantel. No, it wasn't. Saturday was not. Oh, yeah, yeah, Saturday. No, no, Saturday was easy. I'm not saying, Chantel, I don't know what you're saying right now. Like, I'm just saying that they brought everyone from general admission to VIP. I'm not saying that at that point it was hard for us. But there was a situation that it did get annoying. When they filmed Jersey Panel 1, it was like not hard. We had a perfect seat. We had front row. We were not worried.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I think it was Sunday that this happened, but I don't know what are you trying to say about it though? Like, it was not
All I'm
filled because
saying
of
is
that?
that on Saturday, they had the New York panel, they had all those panels. What they were doing was they were when was the Married to Medicine panel?
Yesterday.
Was it?
No, yeah, Married to Medicine was Saturday.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying is that so on Married to Medicine, every single panel that happened on Saturday, and maybe it happened on Sunday too, but I'm just talking about Saturday. They were bringing general admission people to fill up the seats for VIP. So that's what they were doing. So they did do that for New Jersey, they did that for New York, they did that for Ultimate Girls Trip, they did that for all of them. So what we saw on Twitter after was people were saying, "Oh my gosh, like New Jersey, they didn't have enough seats, so they brought people from GA to fill up VIP." But they did that for every single segment on Saturday. So they were doing that for all the segments. It wasn't just Jersey. And then I think Sunday, by the time at least Southern Charm came on, that wasn't a thing. They weren't doing stuff like that anymore because so many people complained about it. Maybe in the morning it was still doing it until enough people complained. But with Jersey and New York and the Legacy and like all of the shows that happened on Saturday, they were bringing the general admission to the VIP by the time the show started. Now, with that said, panel 1 for Jersey, because people were talking about it, was not as filled as panel 2. Panel 2 was completely filled, which panel 2 was with Teresa, Dolores, and Jennifer. I do kind of think like the girl that I sat next to, we were in the front row for both. When the girl that I sat next to for panel 2 said to me, "Isn't Melissa and I'm gonna be here?" And I'm like, "No." So I don't know if people didn't know that the Jersey happened panel 1. Well, Sunday to me was the busiest day. So I don't know, but um completely filled was Beverly Hills and was New Jersey panel 2. Those to me were completely filled, like the whole room and everything. But Saturday we went to panel 1 with Jersey. Chanel, how did you think about that experience?
I mean, it was just wild because we were like we were right there and we can see them. They can hear us, you guys. Every time we said we were screaming something out if we wanted to, they can hear us. So it was just like I was dying. I was like pinching Roxanne, telling her not to say a lot of things because like you want to like let them like finish their sentence or whatever. And even though if they were lying, but yeah, it was just a crazy experience, and especially what Joe did to us was just very very wild.
Yeah, so during that segment, we go to that segment, and during that segment, Melissa notices us. And the reason she notices us is because like she probably said something and I was like, that didn't happen. And Melissa gets asked like where she's at with Teresa, and she said, I am the chapter is closed, which Teresa's been saying for a year. She said the chapter is closed, and that's all that it is. Chapter is closed, like boundaries, and everyone started applauding Melissa for saying that. You guys, the next day, Teresa says that. She says the chapter is closed because she's been saying that for a year, and she's getting boos. In what world, like, are you guys gonna sit there and applaud Melissa for saying it, but when Teresa says it, she gets boos? It was like a terrible audience that was there.
Yeah, and I just think that there was so much like I think it was so much busier, so there was so much happening that it was like for panel 2 it was so much busier, so there was like way more noise. So like to me that also plays a factor.
But to me, like, it's like, how can you and I feel like the reason that people don't
No, you
know
know
maybe
what? It's
Melissa
because
to that.
Melissa knows how to play it. She's like "Aren't you guys over it too?" And she, like, made it, like, an audience thing, and, like, yeah, like, I would be clapping for that because I am over it. Like, I'm
But
over you and her fighting,
But it
so
doesn't
yeah.
matter. They both literally said the same thing. Even if someone said it a different way, they both literally said the same thing. Melissa gets applauded for it, Teresa gets booed for it. It just doesn't make sense. And I feel like it again, that panel wasn't filled like it was for the other one, which the whole room was completely filled. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I just think it's so wild and it's so sad. I feel like the people who came to that came to just like hate on Teresa maybe, whereas they don't even care to see Melissa. So that's why no one came to panel 1 like that. Not saying panel 1 was empty, but obviously it was completely full for panel 2. So I feel like those people don't care to come and see Melissa because she literally said the same thing that Teresa did and she gets applauded, Teresa gets booed. And like if that was me, if I was Teresa, I'd be like, you know what? And we're all saying that. My brother and his wife are saying that. I'm saying that. So you guys need to respect it, like respect boundaries. But Teresa just is so over that all she's saying is that chapter's closed.
Yes.
So, yeah. So what was interesting is during us doing it, I see Melissa notice us, and I'm like, oh my god. And I look at Chantel. I'm like, Melissa just noticed us. Like she knows we're here, and it's to the point where the audience is asking questions. And while the audience are asking questions, Melissa then looks at us and she says, or she looks at Joe and she says, the girls from All About TRH or whatever she said, they're here. And he was just so weird that whole panel. Like he wasn't himself again. Like he was just acting so not himself. I only saw him one time act himself, and that was the third day, but he just was not himself at all. And so she says that, and I think Bravo Lover 1234 noticed us as well too.
Oh
And
my gosh, she
so
was giving, like, a straight
yeah,
face.
she was just looking at us. Like she literally looks like a cartoon character. Like I'm not even trying to be mean. It's just it's wild. And she just like she was just staring. But Danielle was there and she didn't notice that we were there or anything. Danielle's like very much in her own world. But so as soon as I tell Chantal, because Chantal zoomed in on Danielle, I'm like, Chantal, record this. Melissa's telling Joe right now that we're here. As soon as she does, Joe looks at us and he's like, telling us to put our cameras up. Like he thinks that we're like hiding our faces with cameras, which we weren't at all. I Chantal was doing a live, I think. I pulled my phone out because I knew that he just notices and he's about to say something. And he literally was like, "Hi." And he's just like you could see he saw red. Everything in the room was like complete like we were the only people in the room. That's how he acted. And he told us to put the camera out of our faces. He's like shaking his head up and down. He's like saying hi, like, you know, making faces. Like he did some weird lip thing that was like weird and uncomfortable for me, not attractive. And then he like stood up and he's still doing stuff. We have it. I literally recorded the whole thing and it's on All About TRH. So go on our Instagram, All About TRH podcast and All About TRH. So go look at it because he was just on a different level. And you could tell Margaret knew we were there too. Um, and it's not like we were like sitting there asking to take pictures with these people after we go and boo them like panel 2 did. There was a lot of people
Oh
in
my
panel 2
gosh,
who would
yes.
boo Teresa and them, and then they would go in and ask for a picture. And I'm like, that's so pathetic. But that was just kind of weird. I guess I did. So the reason that a lot of people ask us, like, how do they even know you guys? I've been around since their first season, so they know me more so than Chantel. I'm sure now they listen to our podcast, so they now know Chantel and like know like both of us together. But it's always been me and then Laura. We've had a few writers other than that, but they know me and they know Laura for sure. So
And you've talked to Melissa on the phone before.
I've talked to Melissa. Melissa knows me, so I've talked to her, and so they know us. Like we have a long history. It's been since 2012, so we have a long history. They know exactly who we are. I guess I just didn't expect him to act like that. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't think it was like threatening or anything. I was
I
just
know, like,
like,
some people were like, "Oh my god, be careful." I'm like, "You guys, he's not gonna like, what is he gonna
"What's he
do?"
gonna
Because
do
he's
at
not.
BravoCon?" I
Yeah,
know
he's
the
not.
Jennifer stuff, but
I know, but he's not gonna do anything. I mean, it was funny because, like, again, the next day on Sunday, when we did see him in the VIP lounge, I wanted to go up to him, and I think we're actually,
yeah,
like, try to record something
I did,
because I
but I
wanted
didn't
to be
save
like,
it.
I know, because I wanted to say, like, I wasn't gonna wait in line to go up to him, but I wanted to see if he was gonna see me on the sidelines, and I wanted to what was I gonna ask him? So, like,
I
what did you want from us? Or, like, what were you gonna
what
say
did
to
you
us?
what were you gonna say? Because it's like you
Yeah.
obviously had something to say, so what were you gonna say? And so she did go up and I recorded it and I didn't save it. I'm so mad because I did on Snapchat.
But they were
Um,
very, like they were just, like, paying attention to the people that were coming up to them to take a picture, so he didn't see.
she was like literally right in front of him because she wanted to be like, what would you want to say? You know, because if you want, because I'm curious, like, what would he say? You know, I thought it was funny. I was like, okay, let's see what he's going to say.
I was dying internally. I was like, "Hi, hey," like, wave my hand, like, what's up?" Like, "Hey," like,
Right.
what?" Yeah.
So that day for panel 2 or panel 1 with Jersey, we saw Jen Fessler. She was also in that panel. We saw Jeff, he was in the audience, they didn't bring him up. And then we saw, Brittany, Frank's fiance, and she came up to us and Shuttlehead went up to her, and because of the seat situation where people were starting to be crazy, she she had Brittany come, or she had told Brittany that I was there, but I was in the front, and Brittany was kind enough and she came up to me. We hugged and we took pictures and we asked about her and congratulated her. And we like Brittany a lot. Um, so we did that. Now we saw Jen Fessler because at this point I've always liked Jen Fessler, right? Like I think she's good TV. So when I saw her husband, I was like, oh my gosh, can we get a picture? Whatever. And I took a picture with him. Like he's the only one I care to. Well, we uploaded that picture on All About TRH and we sent it to Jen Fessler. And we on the picture, like we had wrote, like, "Oh, Jeff was so nice," and we got a picture of Jeff Fessler. And it showed that she saw it. She didn't even like heart it. She didn't even respond. And I get it. She's friends with Margaret. Margaret hates me, but I was just like, "Ew, that's so ugly and that's so rude." Because like, what if I'm just like, I'm like a fan. I'm a viewer. Like, whatever. Like, I've never said anything bad about Jen Fessler. And so for her to look at it, not even acknowledge it, not even say anything or be like, "Oh my gosh, like, oh, like that was cute," or "Oh, like just like heart it, just like click it, like it." She didn't do any of that. Immediately unfollowed her and I'm like, "You know what? Jen Fessler, like she like I don't like that type of energy because I'm like, if that she could have just like liked it. Like I don't know, like you clearly saw it and I don't know, I just thought
I
of it.
think it's getting to her head a little bit because even on the panel, she was like, "My husband should be up here," and it's like, "You're a friend of the housewives right now. Like, your husband should not be up there. We haven't even seen his face." And like, she was just like
Right.
making it seem like she was way more something than
And, like, you're
she's
not even
not.
really friends with Margaret. Like, that's another thing with Jen Fessler is, like, I feel like she's very loyal to Margaret because Margaret doesn't like me, right? And she's so scared to be affiliated with me or whatever. You are not even real friends with Margaret at all. You were best friends with Siggy for 20 years, who hated Margaret, and you were so desperate to come on the show. So you were so desperate that you literally got introduced as Margaret's friend when you guys weren't even friends. You guys were acquaintances, and now you feel like this, like, loyalty towards her. So I don't know. I thought that was ugly. I didn't like that about her, and, like, the way she acts on TV, I would have thought she would have at least liked it, you know? I'm not asking her to share it or anything, of course not, but at least liked it or acknowledged it. So I'm sure the other side would be happy to hear that she didn't, so that they're like, okay, maybe we still do trust her. But for that, unfollow. I'm not ever going to care or report on her. So don't care. Um, so yeah, that's me being salty, but I just thought it was ugly and I don't like ugly behavior like that. So um, who do we meet on Saturday, Chantel?
We met Tom Schwartz, which he was so
He was the best one.
friendly. Yeah,
Probably the best one.
he like was done taking pictures like in one of those stupid backdrops, but then he knew like people were waiting to take pictures with him, so he started working the line, which was super nice of him.
He talked to everybody. He talked
Everybody.
to everybody. He was so freaking great. Um, I
There's like a
absolutely loved him.
BravoCon like Facebook group, and I think like Roxanne had mentioned or
Message
someone,
boards, yeah.
yeah, it was like who smells good, who doesn't smell good, and like Schwartz like smelled good or something. So we're like we're gonna nominate you for that you smell good.
Right, yeah, he did, and he was, like, so funny about it, and he was, like, laughing about it, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, please say I smell good." He was so great. He talked to every single person. He was just incredible. We
We met Gigi. Where is she from again?
Chantal doesn't know. I watch Shaws of Sunset, so I
Oh,
know.
you guys,
So
she was smoking. You can tell she was high,
right, right. Yeah, she smelled really bad.
like
Um,
weed.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sorry. Let me correct that. She smelled like weed. We met
We met
Dorit.
Shannon.
Yeah, we met Shannon. And what do you think about Shannon?
What did we say to her? I don't even remember our interaction with her, so maybe I don't think that much of her.
No, I
Oh,
talked to her.
we did
Wait,
tell
no, no,
her.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay,
no. Okay.
okay, okay.
We met Shannon. She talked to us. That was nice. So,
We met Dory, which she was nice.
yeah,
We met
yeah.
Dr. Jackie and like some girl that we didn't know that she was a newbie on the shows of Married to Medicine. Oh, we met Monica too from Salt Lake City that day.
She was, oh my gosh, you guys. Monica was very skinny and she looks great. So, like, I'm not saying shade, but her assistant kept like yelling she's not on Ozempic. And it was like really weird that her assistant was doing that. I
Yeah,
liked
it's like
Monica in person. She was honestly so great.
yeah, she's like, "You guys can be my sister." Like she thought that we like looked like
Like
her.
her. She was so awesome. She was great. She has lost like 40 pounds. Okay. So, I guess we can all say stress, but like conveniently, all the housewives apparently lost 40 pounds.
We met
I
Amanda that day too.
Oh yeah, Amanda was so sweet. She was really, really nice. And that night we went to the Watch What Happens Live segment, which I need to talk to you guys about because it was crazy. So this was fun. We were on the front row at Watch What Happens Live, and it was dynamic duos with friends. And so Vicky Gunvalson is like living her best life, like she's feeling herself. And it's so crazy to me because like they fired Vicky, but they gave her an award the day before. She's like sitting right next to Andy, so it's like bring her back. By the way, Charlie's literally right now. My daughter is like in my room and she's like reading a book talking about Jesus and Mary, and I think it's the
Oh,
cutest
that
thing
is so
ever.
sweet.
Okay, sorry, go ahead and read. So anyways, so we went to that Watch What Happens Live, and you guys, you are not going to believe what happened during that segment. So Andy Cohen plays, and it was such a cool experience. Andy
Cohen.
Cohen, yeah, Andy Cohen plays Squash That Beef with, and he calls Vicky, and Vicky's like, who do I have beef with that's here? Someone rings the doorbell and it's Teddy. Teddy comes out and you could see Vicky's face be red. Like she had no idea that Teddy was coming. And Andy was like, we're going to try to squash the beef. And you could tell Vicky is so annoyed. And Vicky says, my problem with you, Teddy, is because you brought up January 6th and implied that I was there during the January 6th stuff. She's like, I was actually in Mexico. Teddy like deflected from that and didn't really touch on that. But then Teddy starts talking shit to Vicky, which I don't think anybody expected. And I think the whole audience got annoyed because no one really likes Teddy, poor girl. Like they just don't. Anything she does never lands. So, like she starts deflecting, she starts talking shit to Vicky, and the audience is not having it. Okay. And then she says something, I don't know what she said, but she said something like, I know you're only cool with people who fake cancer. She said something like that where it was such a low blow, and the entire audience went crazy and they were like, boo. And she's like, and Vicky looks at her and she's like, you're just disgusting. Like, why are you here? You're disgusting. Like, why did you just come out? Go back, like, leave. And it was, you could tell Vicky was so mad. And then Andy was like, all right, I don't think that we're gonna squash the beef. Teddy, you can leave. And everyone was booing Teddy. People were screaming, whoop it up. Like everyone was booing
Whoop
Teddy.
it up.
Yeah,
Whoop
yeah.
it up.
Teddy literally walks out. She doesn't know what door she is. You could look at Teddy and she was shaking because I don't think she expected the audience to react that way. And Kyle's watching the whole thing and Kyle's just like looking.
Like you kind of can see Teddy wanting to say bye to Kyle or like whoever else was on the couch, and it was just like
No,
it was
I
so
think she wanted
awkward.
to hide. I thought she was so embarrassed, like humiliated. She was literally shaking. She didn't know what door to exit. And it was like kind of embarrassing because it was like Vicky's like, get out of my face. And then Andy was like, all right, Teddy, you need to go. And it's like, Teddy, you just like put yourself out there for no reason. And like, look how like you have to be the one to leave. Like, it's just kind of embarrassing. Uh,
And I'm sure other people have seen like that's the thing we know so much has happened at BravoCon with like little snippets, but we're assuming you guys have like seen a lot of the little stuff on social media because things were recorded on the live panels. But even someone asked a question to Kyle like why is she trying to make fetch happen with Teddy, and you guys everyone was screaming like no one likes Teddy, no one
Yeah,
does.
it was crazy. Well, so Andy went on his Cyrus XM and he was like, he said that the whole dynamic duo was crazy. He's like, you have to see it to believe it. The crazy thing is, Vicky walked into the dynamic duo show. She was so tired. She was like, it's late. I'm tired. And I was like, Vicky, I got her some tea. I was like, it's going to be okay. Do you want tequila? And then she was like, no. And then after Teddy left the stage, she was like, so pissed off. And I kind of thought Teddy was going to come out, especially since Vicky had been celebrated the night before. I kind of thought Teddy was going to come out and they were going to really squash the beef, which is the goal of squash the beef. And
I thought so too. Like, why wouldn't she just say, like, "I'm
yeah.
sorry for that. Like, how can we move on? We have the same circle of friends. Let's go."
Right. And she didn't do that. I totally expected her to be like, "All right, it's gone too far. It's enough. Enough is enough," you know? And she didn't do that. So and but then she looked like the jackass. Like it was so embarrassing. She's the one who had to leave and everyone was booing her out.
Oh my god, it was crazy, you guys.
Yeah, it really really was. So you guys need to tune into that Watch What Happens Live episode cuz it was crazy. It was so good and it was so cool being a part of that.
Yes.
Anything else
And keep
happened
well,
Saturday?
no, but just keep in mind, you guys, like, we're telling you more of the experience. Like, you guys, we get there like 9:30 every day, and like we leave at like 5:30. It takes so long to get Ubers. Roxanne and I had 2 hours to like get back to our hotel, change, go to Watch What Happens Live. You guys, like, I don't know how any of the housewives were doing it. We were exhausted every single day, and I don't know how they like have to get up, go to those things. I would die if I was them, and they have to be full on getting glam. I if I was
I mean, but, like, it's so nice because 'cause they're getting their makeup and hair done, so it's not like they have to whatever, but
I
it is
know,
an
but just a
overwhelming
lot.
day. So it's like so I'm part of a message board with BravoCon, and we're also getting messages from people who went to BravoCon who talk about, like, who they had a good experience and bad experience with, and we'll go over some of those. But it is a lot. So Meredith, I met her Saturday evening, and, to me, like, she just was really uncomfortable with the whole thing. Like, I feel like she was just uncomfortable, but to some people, maybe it didn't come off as right, but I just felt like with her, like, she was uncomfortable because, like you said, it's a lot, and, like, I would die if people just if I'm taking a million pictures in, like, the worst lighting possible.
I know. So like, but then some of them know how to fake it. Not fake it, but like just be really nice or know that, they're being people are coming a long way for them. But yeah, like I don't know how I would do.
Yeah. Saturday to me was such, a fun day with, like, the people that we met, and, I actually still think Friday was better, but, like, Saturday we went out with a lot and we saw a lot of people, like, a lot of housewives and things of that sort, but, what day at that point did you like, Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, Friday, like BravoCon day, like that was just fun. Like it was new. Like we were like living on adrenaline a little bit because we're going from one panel to this and like going to that. We saw people were like, wow, this is so cool. Like this is actually like stuff that we're doing and that we're taking pictures, we're talking to people. So I like Friday more.
The
But
food was
Saturday, oh
disgusting.
my god, you got okay. I hope BravoCon sends me like, what can we do better? And all I'm gonna say is food, okay? They out of all like 3 days, they have the same food, and it's like in the main area, it's like just like chicken tenders and fries, and like maybe like a
And the
salad and like a
nastiest
parfait, and they're
chicken tenders and
nasty.
fries,
They're
the
not like,
nastiest.
yeah, they're not like crack chicken tender and fries. I'll eat chicken tender and fries all day. I like chicken tender and fries, but they were nasty, and it's like we're there all day from like 10 to 5. You really and you're not gonna leave. Like, yeah, there's many things in Vegas, but you're not gonna leave because things are happening so fast. And it was disgusting. Like, and I'm shocked they didn't have anything really in VIP either.
They walked around with sliders occasionally, very small sliders that were so nasty, and the only thing that I will give them that they had was they had soda at every like, they made sure you had soda.
Only in VIP though. So like if you did not have VIP, you had to buy for your water. Your water was like $5 for like a small little water. And so that was nice because like I drink a lot of water. So like I was constantly going to VIP just to get and refill my water.
Yeah. Our feet, we, like, walked 15,000 steps every day,
Yeah.
and our like, just during that time, it was a lot. Oh my gosh,
So wear
our ha
comfortable shoes. You like I don't think we anticipated that. Like I think we kind of were like chunky heels. Like we didn't wear heels. We just like wore like little wedges. But even that, like I would try to plan my outfits around like a cute like sneaker moment or something so that like you're comfortable.
Right. I will say, by the way, like, on all the message boards I'm on for BravoCon, all the messages we're getting on All About Terry H podcast and All About Terry H, everyone is saying that Shep was by far the rudest, one of the rudest people there. And he would just get so annoyed if you wanted a picture. He was also drunk. And I think Andy on his live show said this too, that he was drunk and he was not like he was not fun to be around or cool. So I think he gave a lot of people a bad vibe.
Yeah, ew. Like even watching him now, like, I would you guys, if I even saw him, I would never even give him a day,
Right. Yeah,
a minute.
we definitely didn't with anyone in Southern Charm. Um so Sunday, so we had a fun night Saturday. We did post some pictures if you guys want to go see, go to All About Terry podcast of us. Sunday was the busiest day. We didn't anticipate it to be busy. We thought this was going to be a day where it died down, and it absolutely was not. It was the busiest day. And at this point, if you had a 3-day pass, everyone's over it.
I'm over
They're
it. I was
they're
over it. I was
over
like, "Get me home."
there and but when you're at BravoCon, you're over like the cool backgrounds or the cool like layouts they had or
The
the cool
booths and
you're
this and
over all of that. So you're just going to the panels because there's nothing else to do. Or
and they had
drinking.
they had good panels on Sunday, so it sucks. Like, they had the Beverly Hills, they had the Southern Charm, they had the, New Jersey part 2, like, so that's, like, and you don't know this stuff beforehand. Like, you're buying what you're buying, so it's like, it sucks. Like, I wish they had a schedule out so you can, like, pick and choose which days you want.
Yeah, I just know that Sunday was the busiest and I was not expecting that. And I feel like the panels were so much more full on Sunday. And we, again, Beverly Hills panel was on Sunday, New Jersey panel was on Sunday, Southern Charm panel was on Sunday. Southern Charm, that Chantel, I made her go to that panel and she hadn't even watched it at that point. And
I had,
I
like, watched, like, 2 episodes, but I had no idea about this, like, Austin, Taylor, and Olivia thing.
the way Austin took no accountability for anything, he got booed, he got called out, and you could tell like he shut down midway
He was
during that.
pissed.
We put a video of it up and you will see he is so pissed. You can just tell he saw red too. And he was just so I don't think he was expecting that. But one thing I didn't like about the Southern Charm is they brought that other like spin-off show of it from Leva. And I didn't care and I wanted to hear more from Southern Charm. So I didn't like that. It sucked too because a lot of the people who hosted these panels were like not good. And it's like, where's Andy?
Yeah.
Like, so I hated seeing that because they didn't know how to, like, call someone out or
Yeah, like, in
anything.
some of the questions, you guys, like, a lot of the times for the panels were, like, little updates on their lives, and it's like, "No, like, we don't we're here to get some tea and, like, hear the juice." Like, we don't wanna know, like, unless it was, like, a Kyle, like, obviously, everyone wants to know what Kyle's going through, but, like, some of the other stuff was just unnecessary.
On Sunday, during when Chantal and I went to VIP, uh, Bravo Lover 1, 2, 3, 4 was there with Thirsty Fuda, and Joe Gorga and Frank Catania was there, and Margaret was walking around taking pictures with everyone. I will say that people love Joe and Frank. Like they really do. The girls were going crazy. They were asking to Frank and Joe Gorga were like holding girls like up on
Like,
their
picking them up.
hands and
Mhm.
taking pictures. And like people just like kind of love them. So even if you don't, like people do love them. It's crazy. Melissa wasn't there for that. Um
We met
who-
Lisa that day. Oh,
Lisa who?
I met Barlow.
I loved her.
Yeah, she was great.
We met Crystal, didn't care for her, obviously, like whatever.
I met my,
Um
my new husband, Luca from Below Deck Down Under.
Oh, yeah, Chantal was, like, flirting with him, it was really scary.
I, like, screamed, "Hey, sexy," and he, like, comes on over. I mean, it's not like he had a line or anything by him, you guys, but he comes on over and gives me, like, the best, like, warm hug, and he was, like, looking into my eyes. I was getting so nervous. I was like, "Get me out."
But we found out that a girl with big boobs the day before had DM'd him and said she was at BravoCon, and he took her to dinner that night,
I know, so
so
crazy.
that was a little wild. Someone's, like, really hungry for some women, you know? Because that was
I could have been his
crazy.
next victim.
Right.
I
Um,
told him to come on our podcast, so we'll see.
yeah. Yeah, Chantal was really good with that.
Oh,
Um
yeah, you guys, Roxanne was horrible about talking sometimes.
I mean, it just depended. I don't like I don't know. It just depends who it is. So third night, yeah, third day, Sunday, we were so tired at this point. We were just like, oh
Yeah,
my
like,
gosh.
I think Sunday was a day that we literally just, like, camped out at the Gold Stage, which, like, was mostly all the panels were at, and we just sat there, like, waiting for all 3 of them to just go and go and go so we can, like, be there for Jersey and then leave.
Yeah, we didn't really take pictures. Sunday we met Jen from OC and
Yes.
love her. Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing, amazing. She was so great. She's literally the best. And Ryan is so in love with her and they're so cute together. So we met her because we only met Ryan on Friday.
Roxanne, you know what you I don't think me and you talked about this. You know what we didn't notice? It was the first time we like saw the escalators, and that's like when Bryn had that moment with the shoes. Like we were there for the moment, but we didn't realize what was happening.
I know, which is so crazy. And like I don't think that was set up. Like those were her Louboutins because some people were like, was that set up? And I don't think so at all.
No.
Bryn was so I will say Bryn and Uba were so kind to people. Like we kept getting so much feedback of how sweet and nice they were to people.
You guys, Bryn just knows how to be so charming and talk through the room. And I think it's genuine. Like she really is being genuine in person to people.
Yeah, and you know how there was like this like rumor about her and Shep that she thought he was hot? At Watch What Happens Live segment, they were both were there, and you could tell like they were not into each other at all. Like
Ew,
Bryn was not into Shep one bit. Shep like
no.
drank a lot. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
He
ew. Like
wasn't.
I would be so disappointed if Bryn looked at Shep.
Yeah, there wasn't anything there, and
I
she kind of
know.
made it clear. So Sunday was the Jersey panel, Jersey Part 2 panel. We got to talk about this. It was completely full. We had front row, which was really nice. Um, and it
The
was
way we had to, like, work it sometimes, you guys, but, like, we would talk to everybody and, like, we'd be like, "Where are you gonna stay? Are you not gonna stay?" And we would just, like, move up. It was just, like, so
yeah, it was a
crazy.
lot. That Sunday was so overwhelming. And so that was like the last segment and it was completely full, but there were a lot of haters. I'm not gonna lie. Like there were, and yeah, we could all hear that there were boos at sometimes with Louis. And it was like if you read the message boards, everyone was like, Louis was the nicest. He was working the room. Louis was so great. And then people were like, I'm scared to admit this. Like, I can't believe I'm admitting this because I can't stand Louis, but he was so great. And I got a picture with him, but I feel gross even admitting that. And it's like, then why'd you ask him for a picture?
Seriously, like, you
Like,
guys, like,
you're
I would
so
never
messed up.
I don't get that because I would never go up to any of the people that we talk about or we don't like and ask for a picture. Like, I wouldn't. Like, I don't even have a conversation with you unless it's just to be funny or, unless, like, we can have a conversation and talk about some things, but I'm not gonna sit there and ask for a picture.
He's so misunderstood, and I just feel so bad about it.
I will defend him until we die.
Right? Like, 'cause
Just
he's
kidding,
such a
unless
great
something
person.
else happens.
No. No, I mean, he really is so
No, he's
great,
so
and
sweet. He's the sweetest person
he
ever.
was great to every person he met. Even when someone was booing him and another, person who likes him, like one of the viewers got mad, he was like, "Just don't worry about it, it's fine, ignore it." And, like, it was like, he's just so kind, he's so misunderstood, guys,
And the
he
way you
really
guys
is.
and the we saw so many husbands. We saw so many housewives and their husbands, so many of them, you guys. And the way he treats Teresa, it's the most kind, loving thing I've ever seen. Like you can just tell they are so in love and they respect each other. So I think some people think like he's controlling or whatever, and it's like that is not the case whatsoever. Like from what I
Right.
see in person.
Right. No, not at all. I just feel like he's so misunderstood. I feel like this season we'll see a different side of him and we'll kind of understand more things. But I did feel bad, like people asked about his job. And it's so crazy because, like, his job is a normal thing. And, like people were just trying to throw shade at him. The people who asked the questions. There was this person who came up and asked a question. And they were so rude. They were so nasty towards Jennifer Aiden. The way they asked the question was so ugly, so rude, so disrespectful. And she reacted and she got up and like people were like, "Why would you react?" Well, this person was so rude. And the person kept like trying to fight them and told Teresa to sit down or be quiet and
Yeah.
not get
This was
involved. And it was so
This is when it
nasty.
was got the most wild, at this, like, part because, like, everyone was, like, people were cheering, people were booing, no one knew, like, what people were saying, and, like, you
Right.
couldn't even hear Jennifer or Teresa try to defend themselves or say anything, and it's like to me, it's like, I hate that comment so much, like, why when 2 people are actually generally good friends, why does one always have to be up someone else's ass? Like, why can't people
Right.
just be friends? Like,
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It was a lot. Like it was just if you don't like someone that much, I don't know. That's why I'm like the booze. Like, is it okay to do? I mean, it just like Louis is not on the show. Like he's on the show because of his wife, and he's so kind and gracious, and he's not like fighting back or doing anything. And you can just see him love his wife and support his wife. So it's like I don't understand the hate. I
I
really,
know.
really don't.
Listen, I don't mind the boos or the like claps when there's like a question being answered that's like not good or not bad. But I don't like though like for instance, like I think when Tom Sandoval came out, everyone just booed him right when they announced him. Like that's what's mean, you know? It's like let them
Yeah.
come out, let them talk and let them say things. And then if you don't like something, then you can boo it.
I'm over that whole Tom Sandoval stuff,
I
by the way.
know.
I'm
I think
sorry.
Andy is too. I think he, like, said something as well about it.
Yeah, he did, and so did Lala, and it's like, it's over with. Ariana has the best life, and she's set up for life, so, like, she
Oh, yeah,
should
you
live
guys,
happily ever
Ariana
after.
and Katie were just like, they were on the Watch What Happens Live thing too, and it's like they were the most least engaged. Like
Oh
the
my
minute the commercial
gosh.
breaks happened, they were on their phones. Like they did not care. Like they
They're so boring, like,
yeah,
I'm
they're so boring. You can
sorry.
tell.
They did not care to be there, they did not care to engage or talk to anyone. I don't know how the hell Katie is still on the show. She's trying to be, like, this edgier person, and it, like, doesn't land, and it's tries too hard, and I don't like it, but they're such snooze fest. Like, I know we all feel bad for Ariana, I was one who felt bad too, but it is a complete snooze fest, you guys, it really is. Um, oh my gosh, one of our listeners just messaged us and said Chantel was just on TV, I tried to snap a pic.
Oh my god, I
Oh my
told you. See, I made it, you
gosh,
guys.
was it Watch What Happens Live?
Yeah.
Oh my god, see, Chantal, I told you,
I
you were
know that you did say, oh my
laughing.
god, I'm so scared, you guys, because I was wearing a short dress and like I have thunder
It was
thighs.
just your face. Wow.
And
Uh,
I have thickety thighs, no Ozempic here. And I was so scared because
yeah,
like
Chantal, she said it was just your face.
okay, yay.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, we're recording a podcast and I'm saying that. And oh my gosh, that is so funny, Chantal, I told you. She
Okay, I
said to calm
recorded
her
it, so I
down.
can't wait to go see it.
Yeah. So we have panel 1. Oh, Chantal, you sent me panel 1 recording and panel 2 recording of New Jersey.
Yeah, like look at them. Do you see a difference? Like
Let
I
me
do, but I
see.
just want to make sure you do.
Let me see. I'm gonna take a look right here. This is panel 1. Yeah, panel 1's like whatever. Okay, and then here's panel 2. Yeah, panel 2 is way more full.
But the thing is, you guys, like, I don't even think that's a thing. Like, I don't think it's like, oh, they like people like Teresa's panel more or even Melissa's panel more. Like, there's so many things. There's first of all, there's a schedule. So like, if there was like Vanderpump Rules happening at the same time, like people would probably be at Vanderpump Rules more than anything. So like, it really just depends on the schedule. And like, what if people left earlier on Sunday? What if people left earlier on Saturday? It just like they. What one thing that was annoying, they both had them at 4:30 at the end of the day, which was so annoying to us because like we probably would have left early days if it wasn't like that.
Yeah. So,
But panel 2 to me looks more busier with my video, but
yeah, I will put it out there after we release this podcast. Um, so on the message boards, like we got a lot of people who were the best and worst from and this one stood out to me, of course, and I'll tell you why. So someone said that the best people they met was Karen and Emily, and the worst was Danielle from New Jersey. So I asked them why was she the worst, and she said she never spoke at all. I was hurried up there, picture taken. She said not one word at all. She started talking to her manager actually. Also, again, we heard that Shep was really bad too. I know that you guys asked some questions on our All About TRH podcast. I want to be able to answer some of them because this is going really long. We can always do a follow-up episode. We are actually talking on our Patreon a little bit more in depth about some things. But so someone asked us, did you meet Andy? I wanted to meet Andy, Chantal. The one thing that I was kind of shocked about Andy is like he really wasn't around. Like unless like I think he's the one who hosted the Palooza stuff, but it was more like the add-ons that you had to pay for that you would see him, just like we saw him at Watch What Happens Live. But it's not like he waited
he
and took
never
pictures or
yeah, he never like
anything.
went to VIP room to take pictures with any fans. Like which that was rude. If you're going to ask your talents, like your ass should be down there too.
Right, 100%, and he didn't do that. He also stayed in a hotel completely separate from everyone else, so I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
like,
we knew
Andy
like where like we
relaxed.
knew like where everyone was staying at the end of it.
Right.
During and the end, like we you started to hear the little gossips.
S
People were most of them were at the Four Seasons and like people the housewives did say that people would come and go to the like lobby bar. So like if you wanted to stalk them there, you could have.
yeah, but, like, who has the time?
People no, people
It's
do. What do you mean?
I know it's a lot though, but
I
yeah,
know. I
they
wouldn't
were
do
at
that because
Four
like I want to
Seasons, Bellagio. Lisa and Larsa were at the Conrad with us.
the resorts world. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, Someone said, "Were there more Teresa or Melissa fans at BravoCon?" I just think like people don't even like really know Melissa. They just like know Teresa. So there was more people who just know Teresa. Do they like her? Do they not? I don't know. But I just feel like there's like no one ever that says like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm obsessed with Melissa." I do think Melissa was like nice to people though.
yeah.
I heard Teresa was great with people. Um, so yeah. Did you speak to Melissa or Joe? He looked like such a jerk making faces at you guys. No, we didn't speak to him. I would have loved to see what he wanted to say. Like, you're making faces at us. Come, what are you gonna say? You know? So I would have loved to see what he was gonna say because his whole body, his whole demeanor changed the second he really saw we were there, you know? Um, was the VIP worth the money? Absolutely. If you're going to go, you need VIP. Also, if you're going to go, it's hard going with like a group of girls. Like I know that's a fun thing to do, but it's so much easier when you're just going with one other person. If you're going alone, like that's kind of hard too. But I just think
But
one
then you can
person.
but then you can do whatever you want at the same time. Like if you want, you can pick wherever you want to go and do what you want.
Yeah. I just think when there's like 5 people, like you're not gonna get 5 seats in a row. Like it's gonna be
Correct.
so hard for all that stuff. And honestly, now that they're putting everything on Peacock, it is a fun experience to like take pictures. But like you take a picture and then what, you know? So it just
But like
depends.
I think like it is a cool experience too to see them up on the stage and like the panels, but like maybe just get one day then. You can, I think you can pick. They're limited, but you can pick one day.
I think overall it was very organized though. So like if you
So organized, you
yeah,
guys. I was shocked by this. So organized. I never
yeah,
felt that like I don't know what I was doing. I felt that way like leading up to it. It was like kind of like, oh, what's happening? But being there, the schedule, the app, you had to download the app, like that was very organized.
yeah. It says which housewife surprised you the most?
Ooh. Um, let me look. Sorry, it's like my pictures. I'm trying to see.
Well, just in general, I don't
I
know.
feel like they all act the same that you
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, like Sutton was kind of like Sutton. I don't know.
Yeah.
We saw Kyle Richards, like she had like 100
Oh
securities with
yeah, this
her.
did surprise me.
Yeah, she had like a
But
million securities with her.
but then we see a lot of pictures of people with her. So like I'm sure she was being nice and like took pictures, but you could tell she's not going out of her way to go into like VIP lounge or doing any of that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, she definitely didn't do that. Um What were the audience questions like for the first Jersey panel compared to the second panel? What was annoying was Michael Rappaport was the host for the second panel, and he's talked so much shit about all the people that were there. So I was like, this doesn't make sense, this host pairing. And Jerry O'Connell was the host for panel one, and Jerry O'Connell is such like a fangirl. Like he is obsessed with like Joe and Frank and them.
Yeah, I thought the questions were more interesting like for panel 1 than they were for panel 2. Like the panel 2 ones were just rude, you know? They weren't even like cool questions. Except I think one person did ask Jackie like why did you flip? That was like the best question that someone did ask.
Well, Michael Rappaport asked that, but she wasn't really saying much. Like she was just like things got clear,
But you
and
guys know if you guys are on a Patreon.
yeah. It says any runs in with Melissa and Princess other than the panel. We saw them Friday, but they didn't see us. And then Sunday, just Joe. He was like taking pictures, but he was so into the pictures with the fans, like and having really fun with it. It was the only time that I saw Joe being himself. Aside from that, on the panel, his demeanor was completely off. This was hit before he even saw us. And even on Friday, when we saw him when Melissa was doing a segment, he didn't seem his usual self.
Yeah, like I saw him, we saw him every day basically, and like he did not, you guys, I was shocked by it. I was really shocked cuz like he
Right.
does come off so like high energy and likable, so I don't really know.
Someone asked where was Jenna Lyons and Mary Cosby. I never expected Mary to come to this. Like she cannot like actually do something like that. But Jenna Lyons was shocking. I have no idea where she
I
was.
know.
So it says, is it true the crowds was chanting Fire Teresa when Andy and Jeff were talking? So I'm the one who started that, and I probably shouldn't have. But when they were talking about like Teresa and Melissa, I screamed Fire Melissa, and in return, someone screamed.
Yeah.
A few people had screamed Fire Teresa, so I probably shouldn't have started that. Who was your lady's favorite Bravo celebrity and least favorite? My favorite was Jen. She's honestly the sweetest, kindest person. I thought Uba, I could see Uba interact with everyone, and Uba seemed freaking incredible. Everyone was raving about Uba, so I think she was amazing.
People
My
said that like I think we didn't run into anyone that was rude, but people did say what's her name from Dubai? Caroline Stansbury. People said she was rude and some people said Sai was rude.
Yeah, but then some people said Sai was nice, so I
I
don't
know.
know. She just has Sai has RBF. She has resting bitch face, so she just like looks like that. The people that we met, like I didn't care for Crystal. There's nothing like I didn't get a good vibe. Sutton was like whatever too, to be honest. But I like Sutton, but she just was whatever.
Yeah, I don't care for something and like I like what I saw is what I got. Like she's just so like I don't know, prissy almost.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone said there's a lot of buzz. By the way, Dorit was amazing, actually. I thought Dorit was so nice.
Super nice.
Someone said there's a lot of buzz around Captain Jason getting around. I know they like had said something about Jason and Lala. Andy Cohen did come out and say that hookups happen, but he's gonna wait for people to say it. So I don't know.
Ooh.
Did
I
you
can imagine though, you guys. Like, imagine if like you're just like seeing someone that you like on TV and you're single. Like, why not?
right? Someone said, did you think Melissa? But then it was crazy because Captain Jason was like in a panel with Lala, where Lala was like cussing someone out, and I was like, I'm sure he was like, this is like really unattractive. So I don't know. Someone said, "Did you thank Melissa for the content? I would die." On Friday, when I saw Melissa come into our VIP into the VIP room, I was going to go up to her and say thanks for the content, but Chantel told me not to.
I did.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go up to her and say thanks for the content. She's like, no, you can't go up and be rude like that. I'm like, wait, no, I'm literally going to say,
Oh yeah, and I
and I
wish
was like,
you did know.
I know, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how is that rude? Like, it's me like saying like you said that, and they should thank me for the content. So
Yeah.
then I didn't end up doing it.
A couple people keep asking about the tea with the fan, asking Jennifer that. There really isn't tea. Like they just went up and asked, like, why are you up Teresa's
And they
a
kept
hole?
but then they were, like, following up and, like, fighting, telling
Yeah.
Teresa to sit down, and it was just, like, they were a problem. It's kinda sad to know that that's how really, like, BravoCon ended and such a bad toxic note, you know?
Yeah, because that was the last panel of all of BravoCon.
Right. And you guys all thanked us so much for, like, really bringing the show to you guys, and that's, like, our goal. We wanted to go there. If you weren't able to go there, show you it live. We did
I
live
know.
streams, and so
You
many of you guys were so thankful about
I
that.
know you guys were so appreciative, and I didn't expect that because, like, I was like, "That's, like, what we went there for," you know? We were just gonna go and show.
Right. Um Let me look at what else. There seems to be a lot of questions. Um, is Alexis from Miami and Teresa not friends anymore? I saw she hung out with Melissa. If you guys go look at her latest post that Alexia put up, her latest post on Instagram, her main photo is with Teresa. I think like a lot of the housewives did separate things when they left, but Teresa was also with her husband and Todd didn't come. So Alexia was probably with the girls, you know? So
And just you guys, like, she can be friends with Melissa, and Teresa probably would never tell her not to be friends with her.
right, yeah. Um, w- what did you guys and Teresa discuss? What do we discuss? I don't
Um
know. We just it was nice meeting her and catching up with her and she's doing a great job, things like that.
She was really sweet though to you, Roxanne, because we were with Alexia and
She
Marisol
was
taking a
so
picture,
sweet, yeah.
and she like saw Roxanne from the corner. She's like, "Come here," like and like she like made sure Roxanne got a picture with her and like like said hi to her. It was really nice,
Yeah.
and that's where we
Uh
saw people like from that line too, because then I think they recognized it.
right, yeah. Um Is it really again, people are asking, is it really worth it? It just depends what type of fans you are. And I think for me and Chantel, it's worth it. It's a lot, but it's worth it for content purposes, for putting things out there. We're trying to grow our brand, grow our podcast. We told a lot of people about our podcast when we were there. So it's worth it for us. Is it if I didn't, I'll be honest, if but I don't know, if I didn't um do a podcast or blog, would it be worth it to me? It would no, it wouldn't be worth it to me, but I'm also not like, even though we talk about it, I'm not like this die-hard fangirl. Like I need pictures with them. It would be that, like I'm just I don't know. I don't think I
I
feel
think
sometimes awkward about that stuff.
Yeah, I also think it's like how you're gonna treat the if it's in Vegas again, let's say, like if you go and you want to have a good time in Vegas, go out to dinners, you're gonna go to the BravoCon all day, like that could be fun. That's like a fun trip to plan and
Right.
do. So I think it's worth it in that sense. Like I thought it was a good time. Like me and you had so much fun. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I
It was a
wouldn't
lot
go
of
again
money.
though.
It was
Yeah,
a lot of money.
I wouldn't go again unless like we know something different is gonna happen. Because I wouldn't want to spend that much money. You guys, like we could go to freaking Europe and stay there for 2 weeks
Right.
and like with the money that we just
Mhm.
spent.
Yeah.
So it's like
Di-
3 days worth it compared to 2 weeks of a vacation. Do the
right.
math.
Yeah. Did you guys ask any panel questions? We were such pussies, you
I was such a
guys.
chicken
I'm
shit.
sorry to
But I
say
will
that.
say this. I will say this. At the Jersey, everyone kept saying you guys better ask a question to the Jersey panel. We had such good seats, and by the time you even like the questions started to go, people started lining up for them. So there's no way you and I were gonna get to ask a question if we unless we wanted to give up our seats, and I didn't wanna give
Right.
up my seat, so
Right.
I'm sorry about that.
But regardless, we would have never, because it's awkward. We would have been like,
You were gonna you went out for Married to Medicine, you said?
that was different though. Like, I don't know. I like Married to Medicine. I'm saying with New Jersey, we wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, you guys
We
there was no
cover
way I
it
was
too
going
much.
to.
It's too close to home for us to do that.
'Cause, like,
Um,
I don't want anyone to shit on me.
Someone said, "Did Andy talk to you guys?" We didn't ever see him like that. I know Andy knows all about TRH. He's responded to things we've put out there before, but we never actually saw him, to be honest, except Watch What Happens Live, which he went inside for. It was so fun at Watch What Happens Live, like seeing like the people behind the scenes that work the show. I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, like, I would absolutely recommend going to that.
Yeah, it was fun, but then it goes on TV too, so it just depends. Um, who surprised you? Okay, so I feel like a lot of these are. Did any Bravo loves beside Gorga notice you and not seem happy or confront you? No, I don't think because you know what? I'm shocked, Chantel. We never saw Tamara.
I know, oh my god, I
I'm shocked we
wish.
never did, except on the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah. What NGA housewife had the longest line of fans? I swear, I'm not just saying this. Teresa had the longest lines, and she had the longest lines, but like she also has the most haters. So I feel like haters literally wait in line to take pictures with her.
Yeah, and I think there was another one, was it Erica Jane at one point?
Yeah. What about her?
I think she had a long line.
Yeah. Someone said were seat fillers actually pay to come boo Teresa? No, I personally don't believe it. I think you guys, Twitter is such a toxic
I
place,
know, you
and
guys,
anyone can tweet anything, and it's getting so out of hand.
like, there was that thing that people are posting about, like, the rules, like, that like, no housewife would make that and say, "Go do this."
Right.
Maybe, like, there was a group of, haters of that panel and was like, "Let's do this, like, let's make sure we do this," but, like, no one no that's not gonna come from their camp, it's not.
Yeah. It says, "Did Teresa and Joe ever cross paths or Melissa?" They did cross paths at, the airport, but they didn't and I think that was really it. They really didn't cross paths, like, they made it very, I don't know.
They didn't stay at the same hotels, like, the panels were separate, like, it's hard, like, especially, like, even us going to different panels, like, there's so many housewives we didn't see,
Right.
from different franchises, like, we barely saw anybody from Vanderpump Rules, so
Yeah. Someone said, "Is it true that they're" well, Chantal, because we were at the panels on Sunday, and that's when Vanderpump Rules came in VIP. Brittany came in, Lala came in, so we missed that.
yeah, see, it's, like, hard, it's, like, you can't
It's
be
so hard,
everywhere,
I know. It says, "Is it true?" Again, there were paid haters. Again, there's absolutely no paid haters. It's ridiculous. Oh, you guys, Chantal, we sat next to people who were like, the person next to us and the person behind us were like, "We're so team Melissa. We are not team Teresa at all." There were a lot of people who said that to us, and I'm being honest, but then there was also so many people who said they're team Teresa. So it's not like shocking to think people actually are team Melissa. Like there are people who are team Melissa in this situation. Now, when we told them our perspective, they were like, we never thought of it like that. These are casual watchers. These aren't people who were committed to the show, committed to social media and see these things. So it's not like shocking that but those people also were not people who would ever boo or do any of that stuff. They were still like pretty classy people, you know. So, but again, no one was getting paid. Like, no one has time to go and pay people to boo or anything of that sort. I think Melissa and Teresa both do a great job of treating their fans well. So their fans are loyal to them. I do think Teresa has way more loyal fans though, and like bigger names that are loyal to her, which is like awesome. So like respect for the OG, but no, there wasn't anyone paid. If I were you guys, anything that comes out on Twitter, I would never believe it. I literally would never believe it. Please don't even ask us about it because it's literally never true. And so it's so exhausting even seeing that stuff because it's like you guys this doesn't sound true. And I feel like we stoop like the low side when we acknowledge those things and when we make something that sounds so crazy relevant, it's like we're like the other side and I hate that feeling. I feel
Yeah.
like icky about it.
Someone asked, "Did Tamara and Teresa speak or even run into one another?"
I think they did run into each other. There was a picture that Tamara posted where
Yeah.
Teresa was in. It was like a group of the ladies. And I think that Teresa, I think they even said hi to each other and that like it was just very, she wasn't at the squash the beef. And I think Andy did that on purpose because it's like Tamara was dying to be part of that squash the beef segment. So I don't know. Oh my gosh, Chantal, someone commented just on our Patreon, just saw Chantal and Watch What Happens Live tonight.
Oh
I
my god, I
told you,
can't wait to see
Chantal.
it, you guys.
Did you record it?
I did record it.
Did you?
Like, not right now, like, I recorded the segments, like, I'm gonna watch it when we get off of this so I can, like, see.
Please
But,
screen
like,
record
I'm
it.
gonna need to get like, grab, like, someone's phone because I don't think you can record screen record.
Right,
But if you guys see and you guys get a good video, like, send it to me, okay?
right. Um, how did you get photos with the housewives? You have to sign up or ran into them? We got majority of our photos in the VIP. We didn't do the photo op. I had signed up for a photo op with Jen Fessler. After I saw how she saw that thing, didn't acknowledge us, literally was like, "We're not going to it."
And I had one
And
with Sheena, and I was like,
we didn't
"No,"
go
I'm
to
like,
it.
"Oh,
It's
I'm
just
over
it I'm
this."
telling you, it's, like, not cute. It's, like, not a cute step and repeat. It's so, like, fangirly. I was like, if they had, like, a casual background and made it cool, I would love to have.
Yeah, like, they
Um,
should maybe like, they should have, like, couches and different things and, like, make it fun and I don't know. Not make it so business-like, like, you guys, the best thing another good thing about BravoCon, I will say, is, like, just talking to everybody, like, talking to everyone
so
being
fun.
there. That's what was fun, honestly. It's like the people you sit next to, everyone's so obsessed with Bravo, so, like, you everyone has this in common, and
So
that's what
fun.
was really fun.
I agree, that was fun. We would every time we were in line with someone, we would constantly ask, like, "Where are you from?" And, like, "Are you having fun? Who's the nicest person you met?" Like, and it was great. Chantal, another person just said, I saw you on Watch What Happens Live." So, which housewife was the best dressed? I think Uba was the best dressed, and honestly, I think Teresa was really dressed nice, and I loved her looks, I'm not just saying that. And I thought Uba's just so
And then
beautiful.
Danielle, you guys was the worst dress. I'm so sorry.
She's just so tacky. Oh my god, it's so gross. Did Teresa seem happy and unbothered as she appeared on photos and videos? Yeah, she really doesn't care about the hate.
You
So,
guys, she's been doing this for so long, like, she's got it down pat.
Chantal,
Pat, pat.
I want you to watch Dynamic Duos. I'm like dying for to see
I
that.
know.
Because I literally had looked at Chantal, and when I looked at her, I saw her in the thing. I'm like, Chantal, I think you were just on TV. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much what we have, right? I feel like maybe we'll do another one. I'm not sure. But that was kind of our experience. Like overall, Chantal, would we go again?
I would go again if I knew something different was gonna happen, if that makes sense. Or, like,
Yeah,
maybe, like, a every other year thing, because
it is a
people
lot.
we met people that went, like, every year, and so far, people said this one was the best one. Like, I think and again, as the years go on, like, I'm sure it gets better and better and better, but,
But we're
um
a business at the end of the day, and like
I
we
know.
got to brand our podcast. Like we met people who finally saw like us in person and can see how we are, like the housewives and things of that sort that we met. And we were able to build that like rapport with them. So I think for us it is super beneficial. So I think it was absolutely worth it. I am so tired. Like there was a night we were up till 3 a.m. because we were out and we didn't get home until 6 and or we woke up at 6, I'm sorry. It was like a lot.
It's an exhausting weekend, like, it's
Yeah.
nonstop, you guys, it's nonstop.
Chantal was literally like constantly like, I'm tired. I'm tired. Like I was like, okay, Chantal.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, Roxanne, I don't know how she does it, like, she's pregnant and she's, like, just, like, chilling, like, I'm constantly needing water, I'm constantly needing to be
Chantal's
fed.
so annoying. Yeah,
I
Chantal.
constantly need to be fed, and she did not complain once about being fed. I was like, "You need to eat, your baby is dying in there." I'm just kidding.
Chantal constantly oh my gosh, God forbid. Chantal was constantly like, no, so one day I didn't want to eat breakfast because I was like, we're late. And she like almost beat the shit out of me because I said that. And she's like, we're eating breakfast. She's
I
so
am not a
crazy about
person
water.
you cannot mess with me with breakfast. Like, I wake up, I'm hungry, and I wanna eat, or, like and especially, I think it was, like, the second day you said that to me, I was like, "Did you not just see what we went through yesterday? I'm
With
eating
the
breakfast because
food.
I need fuel."
Yeah, you were super crazy about that. It was scary. Yeah. So she was a psychopath about breakfast. That's all I need. Even on Sunday, we went late because we were like, let's go have a sit down breakfast because the food was so nasty there. We didn't want to put that in our body.
And, like, that was such the best move because we weren't even hungry until later, like, until, like, we
Oh
went to
yeah,
the
till the
airport.
nighttime. Exactly. Yeah, and then we eat at night. Um, yeah, overall I think it's great. It's fun. It just depends. I think it's overpriced. I'll say that. It's absolutely overpriced. The
Oh,
add-ons,
should we say, like, how much, like, the housewives maybe make money from it?
I don't well, I know at the low end, the housewives do get paid to come. The low end,
Yes.
if you're newer housewives, $10,000. I think you're
Yes.
making like 30 if you're like higher up. That's like all their glam, their outfits and everything.
Yeah, and, like, you guys and, like, the production of the whole, like, stage and stuff, it's not cheap either, so, like, and nothing felt cheap, like, nothing felt like, "Oh, they skimped out on this or that,"
Except the
so
food.
except the food was disgusting. You know what they should have is, like, food trucks, like, they should make it like
Yeah, why wouldn't they have
Coachella,
food trucks? It's so
like, fun,
weird.
like, funnels, like, and food trucks and fun things and, like, make it exciting, like, to eat. I don't know.
Yeah, and that would help,
I'm
like,
a
food trucks
foodie.
would love that, and it was
Yeah.
just so bad, wow. We met a lot of people, I don't know, yeah, I think that was my favorite part was, like, meeting the other people who, like, are into the shows and then telling them our perspective,
Yes.
and meeting our listeners, that was crazy, crazy, crazy.
And, like, all of
Like
your guys is just even everyone messaging us on our page, like, all the commentary, I love that, it was so fun.
yeah. But that is our experience of BravoCon 2023. It was a great experience. We met some great people. And yeah, make sure you guys are checking out allabouttrh.com for everything Real Housewives and Bravo TV. Follow us on Instagram at All About TRH Podcast and All About TRH. Go on our Patreon. We were very active on our Patreon during this. But thank you guys so much for listening and being supportive. Let us know what you guys think of this episode after you guys listen. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.